Hi, my name is Sarah Caper with Forward Pinellas, and I'm here today to talk to you about Safe Streets Pinellas and crash data. A little bit of a reminder on why Safe Streets Pinellas. Safe Streets Pinellas is a Vision Zero effort which looks at leadership and commitment, safe roadways and safe speeds, and using a data-driven approach with transparency and accountability. That's the piece I'll focus on for today. And why Vision Zero in Pinellas County? We know that on average, 2 people are killed or severely injured in traffic collisions every day. And we know that these collisions, the worst of them, the KSI, killed or severely injured collisions, impact users who are bicyclists, pedestrians, or motorcyclists, are vulnerable users. Here's a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the crash data. So again, you can see here that while all collisions largely involve automobiles, with only 2% each of bicyclists, pedestrians, and motorcyclists, the KSI collisions involve much more bicyclists, pedestrians, and motorcyclists. 15% of them are motorcycle involved, 15% also involve a pedestrian, and 10% involve bicycles. And when you look at fatal collisions, the numbers grow even larger. Some of the factors we look at are things like DUI as a factor. We get this data from the crash reports that are filled out. And we can see from them that with all collisions, DUIs are involved in about 4%. But when you look at KSI collisions, as many of us would suspect, that number goes up to 13%. We also look at things like where collisions are happening. This data is only good as the crash reporting, so it's so important to have very good crash reports. And you can see these ones of pedestrian collisions by location. When you look at all collisions versus the KSI collisions, the numbers do change. About half of them involve crossing a road when you look at all collisions. But when you go to KSI, this number goes down, and others, such as waiting to cross or walking along the road with traffic, go up. This provides insight as to things that we can do to help address these problems. Another thing we look at are the sex of the driver. You can see the county is about 50-50 with slightly more women than men. However, all collisions involve men a little more than women from what we know. About 9% of this has no data. And the KSI collisions are 61% men versus 31% women and 2% no data. These are important trends that we can look at to try to address the problems. We also look at things like the age of the driver, comparing the age of people involved in collisions with what we see from the census data for Pinellas County as a whole. The dots show the census data for Pinellas County, and the bars show the breakout of collisions. On the left is all collisions, and on the right, you see the KSI collisions. And one thing we note here, for example, is that all collisions have more of an impact when people are ages 20 to 29 versus age of people who are 20 to 29. But that there's a large piece where we have no data. The KSI collisions, you can see similar trends here on the slide. And that provides you with a little look at some of the data, which will help us figure out and determine what types of countermeasures to propose as part of Safe Streets Pinellas.